And let's get started. Hi, good night, everyone. Well, good evening. This is Sheena, your Caribbean College Planner and Student Advisor at the Student Center, coming to you a little bit later than usual on a Monday. I am joined by Jessica James from King's at Western University out in London, Ontario, in Canada. And Jessica is here to talk to us about King's. So I'm going to declare my hand. King's is still relatively new to me. I know I was telling Jessica, I am aware of Western, but there's a lot I need to learn tonight about Kings. And luckily for everyone, you'll get to meet Jessica in person across the Caribbean. I know she's going to be making stops in Barbados and St. Lucia for the Cup Fest, and then she'll be moving on to Jamaica. So you will get to learn more about Kings at Western University and from Jessica herself in person. But we're going to kick off that before she lands into the region. She's right here with me this evening. She's going to give us a presentation about Kings, and we're going to have some questions to learn even more about that. Good evening, Jessica. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. So today I have a quick presentation just to go through King's University at Western, talk about our programs, our services, and what we are really to kind of give you a good encompassing view of King's. Before I get started, I did just want to give our land acknowledgement. So our campus at King's University College is situated on the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Unapawak, and Chinungton people, all of whom have a longstanding relationship to the land of southwestern Ontario, specifically the City of London. The First Nations communities of our local area include the Chippewa of the Thames First Nation, the Oneida Nation of the Thames, and Munsee Delaware Nation. In our region, there are 11 First Nations communities, as well as a growing Indigenous urban population. And King's University College, myself, and my colleagues all value the significant historical and contemporary contributions of local and regional First Nations and all of the original peoples of Turtle Island. Okay, so most people might be thinking, why should I choose to study at King's? What makes King's a good choice or a good fit for me? I myself am a little bit biased because I am a King's graduate. I graduated in 2019 with a double major in sociology and criminology. And I personally chose King's due to the supportive community. I had gone for a campus tour and I was just blown away by the fact that on my tour, professors and other students kept stopping my tour guide to ask her how her classes were going, how that exam she just wrote was, and really seemed to want to know and were involved with her. I thought it was really nice to have that community around you. And that's personally why I chose to come to King's. You can see on this big list here that there's lots of reasons why students may choose King's, including but not limited to our quality degree programs, our generous guaranteed entrance scholarships, our small campus and class size. Our campus is about 3,500 students in total, and we have a first year class size of about 50 to 60 students, which then gets smaller the higher up in years as you're specializing more in whatever program you choose to complete. Due to that, we do have really intensive student-faculty interaction, comprehensive student services, as I mentioned earlier, a really supportive community, and we do have guaranteed residence, which is another bonus, but I'll kind of talk about those things a little more in depth further in my presentation. At King's, we do like to say that our students receive the best of both worlds. The reasons that we say that is because we are an affiliate to Western University, and that affiliation means that our students will graduate with a Western University degree. So King's students are considered to be Western students. They get a Western student card. You have access to the facilities at Western. You can join any of the clubs, sports teams, take classes or combine programs across King's and Western, which is a really, really cool opportunity. So I actually had a friend who was really debating what program he wanted to do, and he chose to complete a thanatology major at King's and sexuality studies major at Western. So he combined programs across campuses, which was a really unique opportunity that you're able to do as a Western King's student, which I really, really enjoy. We are located in London, Ontario, within Canada. If you're not familiar with London, we're about 2 hours away from Toronto. We are the 11th largest city in Canada with a population of about 551,000. You will experience all 4 seasons in London, which is really great because we are known as the Forest City. So it makes for a really picturesque, beautiful city with all the trees, the hiking and biking trails, and all that kind of stuff. We're a very diverse population here in London, with members of our population from all over the globe. And we are really education focused, having Western and the affiliates as well as Fanshawe College right in the London hub. Next, I'm going to talk a little bit about our programming that we offer at London. Today's webinar is themed mostly towards business, so I will stress our business program in today's session. But you can see here we have our full list of the programs that we offer on our campus, which include the arts and humanities, the social sciences, BMOS, which stands for our Bachelor's of Management and Organizational Studies, Finance, Wealth Management, our School of Social Work. And then you can see at the top right there, we do have some specific programs that are only going to be found at the King's campus within the Western community. You will also notice that a few of our programs do have that Western symbol beside them. And that is something to note if you are a student who's interested in going into Teachers College. So we have a partnership with Western that if students have completed one of those 4 programs that you see that Western education symbol next to, if you've completed the program, you still obviously need to meet the average and grade requirements for that and take the required courses. But as long as you've met those requirements and sent in your application to Althouse, which is Western's Bachelor's of Education program, then they have a spot reserved for students who have completed one of those pathway programs, which is a really, really unique opportunity. If you are still interested in Teachers College and wouldn't necessarily like to do one of our pathway programs here, not a problem. You can still apply to Western's Teachers College from any program at King's, Western, or otherwise. It just would be meaning that you're in the general pool of applicants rather than having that space reserved for you, if that makes sense. I did say I'd talk a little bit more specifically on our business aspects of our campus. So today I'm going to focus on our Bachelor's of Management and Organizational Studies. So you can see here on the slide that we have 4 different versions of what we call BMOS. So these are the streams that you can specialize in. So we have accounting, finance and administration, global commerce, which is like international business, and human resources. Those are the 4 streams that students can specialize in. We also have a minor or a major, if you wanted to combine that, called analytics and decision sciences, that lots of students choose to kind of pair with the business program because it does go nicely with the course material that you're learning in that program. We also have internships available for students in their 3rd year of the program if you would like to participate in an internship. It's not a requirement of the program, but is available to students who would like to participate. We also want to mention Ivy. I know a lot of students have heard of Ivy Business School, which is a prestigious HBA degree that you would get from Western Ivy, which is really, really cool. You can apply to Ivy from Western. You can apply from King's. You can apply from any program into the Ivy program. Most students will choose to do business before applying just because Ivy Business School deals with business and you kind of like to have that knowledge beforehand. But Ivy will accept applicants from any program because they want to make sure that their student population has diverse backgrounds in education to make sure that the group thinking is very diverse and has lots of different ideas and structures and things like that. To apply to Ivy, that is something that we call a second entry program. So you would need to complete your first 2 years of university, and you could do that in any program again, but I know business seems to be a really popular one for students wanting Ivy. But you would complete years 1 and years 2 of university in any program, and then at the end of your 2nd year, you would apply into the Ivy school. We also have something called AEO, which stands for Advanced Entry Opportunity. So if you're looking to apply to Ivy and you want to apply early, you would send in your application still to a different program. You can't apply until the end of your 2nd year, but you would apply into one of our programs, BMOS, Social Sciences, Arts and Humanities, or so on. And on the OUAC, which is the Ontario University Application Center, where you can apply to any Ontario university. But on that website, there will be a little checkbox that you can click off that says AEO status, which just means that you want Ivy to kind of take a look at your average and the courses that you've taken right now and hold a spot for you and make sure that you get that early admission into Ivy. You still have to meet the requirements at the end of your 2nd year, but you kind of can check off that checkbox early rather than applying at the end of your 2nd year. There's 2 different ways to do that. But that's how Ivy would work out. You still have to meet the requirements for averages, and they also look at your community involvement and leadership, that kind of stuff, to make sure that you're a good fit for the program. But you can learn more directly on the Ivy website. Before moving past the business slide for our BMOS program, I am going to play a quick video so that the department themselves can tell you a little bit more about business at King's.
Hi, Jessica, we're not hearing the audio.
Oh dear. Okay, maybe I'll skip the video because I'm not really sure how to fix the audio problem. But the video itself is basically just saying that the BMOS program at King's is a good option for students because it gives you a broad understanding of the program itself before letting you specialize into your streams. The first year of university is what we call a common year. So you would take the prerequisites for any of the 4 streams that you're interested in. The first year is a general year. So you can kind of test out those streams and figure out which one's the best fit for you before figuring out which one you want to specialize in your upper years. If anyone is interested in watching this video and kind of wishes that the sound did work, it will be on our website. So if you ever go to the King's website and look for any of our business programming, this video will be right on the website, so you won't miss it, I promise. Okay, next up, I want to talk about finance and wealth management. So this is a different version of a business-related program that you can do at King's. So I do want to stress that there is a difference between the degree types between finance and wealth management and the previous slide that we were talking about for our Bachelor's of Management and Organizational Studies. So the Bachelor's of Management and Organizational Studies is the degree type that you would graduate with for the accounting, finance and administration, human resources, or global commerce streams that we talked about on the previous slide. This program is not a business degree. It would be a Bachelor of Arts that would be within finance. So it's still a related field, but it wouldn't necessarily have the business title. So if you're looking to have the business title on your degree, you would definitely want to be looking at the slide previous. This slide is for students who want to go into personal financing, wealth management, anything to do with banking or personal finance. This is a really good program that I recommend to students because this program is a collaborative program that we run with Fanshawe College. If you're not familiar, Fanshawe College is the college that we have also within London. It's maybe a 10-15 minute drive away from our campus. But this program is really unique because we will combine the Bachelor of Arts in Finance, which is a 3-year degree that you get from King's and would graduate with a Western University degree, and a 2-year business finance diploma that you would receive from Fanshawe College. Instead of completing the 3-year degree from King's and the 2-year diploma from Fanshawe in the 5 years that would normally take, we condense it down into 4 years. So your first year you would study at King's, your second year at Fanshawe, your third year at King's, and then your 4th year, each term would be split 1 term Fanshawe, 1 term at King's. The unique opportunity that that program provides you with is that you will be graduating with a university degree, which employers within this field will be looking for. But because you've also completed the diploma from Fanshawe with the business finance, you can see the middle column here will tell you that it'll lead to the completion of some of the certifications that you'll need, like the personal financial planner, the qualified associate financial planner, and the certified financial planner, to be able to start kind of higher up in that company or within that field, which is really, really important. It's also a great program because this program will prepare you to write those industry licensing exams that you'll need to complete before being able to practice in the field. So you can see on the very right-hand column there, you will be prepared to write those industry licensing exams at the completion of your program. So we kind of train you and help you with the studying to write those. You shouldn't feel like you need to take time off and study and take that year to prepare yourself. You should be okay to finish a program and go right ahead into booking those industry licensing exams, which is really, really great. This is a fast track program for students to know exactly what field they want to go into. This is a great opportunity for you to actually go out and get into the field. This program is the only program at King's that you wouldn't be eligible to apply into the Ivey Business School program from. The reason being is Ivey requires that your first 2 years of university be complete before attending Ivey for years 3 and 4. And because this is a collaborative program, you would have year 1 completed with university credits and year 2 would be completed with the college credits from Fanshawe, which would make you ineligible to apply to Ivey because you wouldn't have the 10 university credits. So if you are interested in applying to Ivey, I wouldn't recommend this specific program. I would recommend our business program that we talked about on the slide previous, or any of the other programs we offer. It's just because of the collaborative nature of this program that you wouldn't be eligible to apply into the Ivey Business School. Okay, so now I've kind of thrown together a sample first year schedule to show you what your first year could potentially look like. I know that the structure of university courses and scheduling is a lot different from what you might be finding in high school or in other school systems. So in university at King's and Western, what we do is we give our students 5 classes for the school year. And Of those 5 classes, each class will be approximately 3 hours in length, which if you're doing the math means that you have about 15 hours of school a week, which is pretty cool. Your classes can be arranged kind of how it best works within your schedule for the time offerings, but we normally try and give our students Fridays off so that they always get a long weekend, which is pretty cool. So this schedule I've made as an example for a sociology student, because again, I'm very biased and that was the program that I did. But you can see that the student has sociology on Thursdays, but this is their first year, which is the common year. So you can see they've also taken courses in psychology, philosophy, English, and disability studies. The reason being is that we understand that when you're coming into a university setting, sometimes we'll offer programming or courses that you wouldn't have had the opportunity to try beforehand. So we want to make sure that we give you the opportunity to try out those different subjects and try those programs and see whether or not it's a good fit for you. Because at the end of your first year, because you took the prerequisites for more than one specific program, you have the opportunity to either double major in 2 programs that you're now interested in because you tried something new, or switch your program to something else that you weren't sure that you wanted, but you tried the course and you really, really liked. So for example, this student could have come in for sociology and decided, you know what, I liked sociology, but I think English was a better fit for me. And they would be able to progress into English for year 2 without feeling like they're behind, because we gave them that common first year to be able to kind of go into different pathways in year 2. So that is something really unique that we do at the Western campuses, which I really, really like. Okay, so for admission requirements, for any students in today's virtual session who are completing the IB diploma, for IB, we are looking for a minimum final score of a 25, which does include the extended essay and the theory of knowledge, with no course mark less than a 4. For any students who are completing the CAPE program, we will need your CAPE certifying statement of performance, and then we can give conditional offers made up of your predicted Unit 2 results, and then we will again look at your final Unit 1 results included. We do have a self-reported grade form that you can submit online. So as you receive new grades, you can send that new grades to us online. And you can submit your transcripts to us via email at info@kings.uwo.ca as you get those self-reported grade forms filled out. But as for your admission average for CAPE, it will be calculated based off of your best 4 subjects, so your 6 units in total from both units 1 and 2. And we're looking for a minimum average of a grades between 2 and 3 for the CAPE program. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit more about financing on campus. So we understand that fees is a big determining factor of where students are going to want to go to university. And we want to make sure that we're supporting our students as best as we can on our campus. So we have scholarships and bursaries that we award to students. Last year, we gave out over $3.5 million to King's students from just last year. And we're always looking for new ways to support our students. So one application-based scholarship that we can look at would be our President Regis Entrance Scholarship for our international students. We give out 4 scholarships in total for this one, and it goes to our highest admission average at $5,000. And it is renewable as long as you have the highest average continuing into years 2, 3, and 4 for up to $4,000 a year, which is really, really great. We also have a needs-based international scholarship, which is new to King's this year. So once you have decided to apply to King's, you can apply for our King's International Award on our website. It's just kings.uwo.ca/international award. We do have a limited number of awards available. So once you send in your application to King's, make sure that you head over to kings.uwo.ca/international award for more information and to apply for that one. Second up, we have our entrance scholarships. So these are entrance scholarships that are given to students based off of your final average, starting at 82%, that you don't need to apply for. So if you're coming in with an average of 82% or higher, you will automatically be receiving an entrance scholarship, which I'll talk about more on the next slide. Finally, we have our worksite program and our personal assistance. So our worksite program, we have a program called International Work Experience. So if you would like to work on campus and make money working here at King's, you do have the opportunity to do that, which is really, really great. I would recommend working on campus just because your employer is your school. So we do understand the fact that school comes first, and we're very, very good about making sure that we adjust your work schedule to format nicer with your upcoming exams or classes, or if you need time off to study, we're really, really happy to do that. because at the end of the day, it's your degree and your education that's the most important for you here at King's, which is really great. For personal assistance, if you have any questions about applying to scholarships or government funding, or have any other questions regarding fees and financing for our campus, we're more than happy to help. If you've applied to King's, feel free to reach out to our finance office, and we are more than happy to sit down and have a one-on-one appointment with you over Zoom, or if you'd like to fly in and do an in-person appointment, that's totally fine too. But we're more than happy to chat with you with any questions that you have regarding fees, financing, funding, all that kind of stuff. The only thing about that is if your parents also have questions about fees, you're more than welcome to book an appointment with your parents present. You just have to have the student present for the appointment as well. So your parents are more than happy to jump in and ask any questions that they have. You just have to be present as a student as well. Okay, so these are our entrance scholarships that I'll talk about now. So we're going to be focusing on the far two right-hand side columns. So for our students who are completing the IBs program, if you're coming in with a bandwidth score of a 25 to a 29, our scholarships start at 2,500 and go all the way up to 5,000 for a 40 plus score, which is really good. For our CAPE students, our final average will convert your scores between 2 and 3 to a percentage. And when you apply, we will send you a form that kind of shows you that conversion rate so that you can see. Don't ask me right now because I won't remember the math off the top of my head. But if your converted score is between an 82 to an 84.9%, then that scholarship does start at 2,500 as well, and then ranges all the way up to a 5,000 as well, which is really nice. For residence, as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, residence is guaranteed to all of our incoming students as long as you apply before June 1st. So if you're interested in applying to King's and know that this is somewhere you are considering, just make sure that you do send in your application for residence before June 1st, and that spot is guaranteed for you. You never have to worry about not having room and board while you're here. Residence also does include a food plan within the residence fee, so you will be getting a meal plan as well, so you don't have to worry about buying groceries or anything like that. We will have a cafeteria on campus that you're able to use. There are 3 different versions of our meal plan, 1, 2, and 3, which are small, medium, and large. So you have lots of options for that as well. We have 5 styles of residence, 3 of which are geared towards our incoming first-year students. 1 of the 3 is for our female identifying students, and the other 2 are mixed gendered. If you have a friend who is coming to King's and you think, oh, I'd really love to room with them, if you and your friend both write each other's name down, you automatically will be paired as roommates together. So you know who your roommate is and you are paired with them, which is really, really great. If you do have a clingy friend who's coming with you to King's and they write your name down, but you don't write their name down, we will catch the hint and we won't pair you together. So you never have to worry about anything like that. But residence is a really great experience because you're living right in the heart of campus and you're surrounded by your fellow classmates and friends and really get to know people quite quickly when you're living in residence. So I do recommend living in residence. I'll just chat quickly about our support services next. So you can see this is a big long list of support services. I won't go too in depth on all of them just for the sake of time, but the ones that I did want to mention is our summer academic orientation as well as our King's Promise program. So a summer academic orientation is a support service that we offer to our incoming first-year students for academic counseling. So that appointment will be with myself or another one of our academic advisors, and you'll sit down with me or another one of our advisors one-on-one, and we'll talk through what program you applied for, the courses that you'll need to take for that specific program, and then we also do a lot of work on helping you choose what elective courses or the courses that aren't related to the program you're coming for. We help you choose your electives to really make sure that you have a wide variety of program options available to you within your second year going forward. We talk to you about if you're interested in going into Ivy or into social work or into teachers college. We really talk to you about what future goals you have to make sure that we've set you up the best we can for your first year to give all those options available open up for you, which is really, really great. After your first year, you are able to choose and enroll in your courses on your own. But if you did want another academic advising appointment, we do those for second, third, and fourth year students as well. So as long as you're at King's and you would like an academic counseling appointment, you're more than welcome to get one. But I would really recommend doing your summer academic orientation appointment for your first year. And feel free to select my name from the dropdown if you wanted that to be with me. The next one that I wanted to talk about is the King's Promise program. So this one is a newer program that we've created at King's. I want to say that started in 2019. But what it is it's a career readiness program. So what we do is we allow students to do job shadowing events, networking opportunities, and then we also do, it's kind of like a LinkedIn profile, but it's a little bit more in depth. So it's a website that you would build for yourself that goes over any research that you've done within your undergraduate career, any extracurricular events that you've been a part of, clubs, student council, anything like that you've joined throughout your undergrad years. We will show you how to showcase that best on a website built just for you and for your accomplishments, including your education as well, so that you can put that link right on your resume. So when you're applying to jobs or applying to master's programs or teachers college or so on, and when you put that on your resume, employers or other education systems can click on that website and see exactly what it is that makes you qualified and the best fit for that future goal that you have, which is really cool. That program is also a guarantee program. So because we give you all those workshops and job shadowing and prep courses for your future career, we guarantee that our students will find meaningful employment within 6 months of graduation. So meaningful employment can mean one of two things. It can mean one, that your meaningful employment is further education. So if you're going to be applying to a master's program or into teachers college or some further type of education, or it can mean a career that's related to the field that you studied. So a career that you're looking to go into. So because we do give that promise to our students that they'll find meaningful employment within 6 months, if you're unable to find meaningful employment, we will invite you back to King's for up to an entire year tuition free. So we will give you that upgrade year free of charge to help you go back out into the job market a little better educated, which is really, really a great safety net for students as you're going out into the career field. So I definitely recommend looking into the King's Promise if you do choose to come to King's. Just to note, the King's Promise, for that guarantee to be in place, you do need to complete all 4 years of those career readiness workshops that they host for you. Okay, so to get involved on campus, as I said, we are a smaller campus within Western, so our students have access to both of the events, on-campus servicing, orientation week, student council, clubs, athletics, all of that kind of stuff at both campuses, which is really, really great. So you can do athletics at every single level. If you want to play competitive sports, which would be considered varsity sports, those are at the main campus. King's students are able to play varsity sports at main campus, which is really cool. You can also do intramural sports at either campus. You could do open level sports at either campus. There's lots of different levels depending on what sport level you're looking to play at. On-campus events, clubs, activities, student council, you have access to at both campuses. You also have access to the fitness and recreational center at both campuses. And the thing that I didn't mention earlier is that with that Western student card that you would receive as a King's student, you can show that student card anywhere to get in for free for any of our Mustang games. So if you wanted to go to the homecoming football game or a basketball game or a hockey game or a swimming competition, whatever you're looking to go to, you just show your student card. And as a student, you get let into those events for free, which is really, really great way to show your school spirit. Okay, so that is all that I have in my presentation for you for today. This is just my contact information. So if you have a question or would like to book a private Zoom with me to go over specifics, that is my email there on the screen. I'm more than happy to chat with you about any questions that you or you and your family may have. Feel free to reach out to me via email. That's why my email is up here. We do also have an open house coming up. So if you're planning to be in Canada, November 4th, we do have an open house that you're welcome to come to in person. We also have another one coming up in person in March during, I want to say it's the Saturday. I think it's the 23rd in March that's coming up. Otherwise, we do have virtual tours that you're welcome to do of our campus as well. If you're not planning to make the flight into Canada, we do have virtual tours that we're welcome to show you and your friends and family as well. But thank you so much for giving me this time to come and talk to you all about King's, our programming, and a little bit more about our business aspects on campus. I'm open to any questions or comments that you have, and I hope to see any of you in person soon.
Thank you so much, Jessica. I have some questions because, and before I forget myself, I really like the program that you have with Fanshawe. So I will let you to go into that a little bit more. I know it's not to have the same way as the BMOS program, and you did give some clear differentiations between the two. But coming from someone who believes in hands-on learning and mixing a college university education together if it's possible, My first question is, do you have to start at King's? Is it to help with you applying through King's, or can they come from the Fanshawe side and then come to King's?
Great question. So your first year that you would do with finance and wealth management would be at the King's campus, which means that you would apply on the Ontario University Application Center or the OUX site directly to King's. You would apply into finance wealth management at King's, and then it's shared throughout Fanshawe in your upper years.
Okay, so at the end of those 4 years, so you're condensing a 5-year program into a 4-year program, you end up with your Bachelor of Arts from King's at Western, and then your diploma. Now, let me just ask a follow-up question. So suppose I did this program and then I wanted to go on to grad school. Could this program get me there, or may I have to do some prelim courses instead? Because it's a 3-year bachelor's technically.
Yes, so it depends on the grad program you're looking for. There are a few grad programs within Canada that will accept either a 3 or a 4-year undergraduate program. And then there are a couple that require that it be a 4-year program to apply in. So it really depends on the school that you're going to. If you are going to be applying to a school that requires a 4-year, then you would just want to come back and do another additional year to get you to that 4 years instead.
Well, that's good to know, because obviously there's some students who want to move on after that. So not that it was an issue, but I do like the setup of this program. And so let's go back to the BMOS program as well. You said persons who are interested maybe in accounting and then maybe want to go on to Ivy. That is the particular program for them.
Yes, so for Ivy, you can apply into Ivy from any program. It doesn't even have to be business related. You could do philosophy and apply into Ivy. You could do any program whatsoever. The most popular programs that I've seen students do and then go into Ivy have been business, because it is the professional business program. So a lot of times they really know what they want and they focus in on the business. But Ivy has been pretty vocal about wanting students with different academic backgrounds. So they're really looking to make sure that they diversify their student population with other programs before coming into Ivy. For Ivy, the only course prerequisite that students need to have is called Business 2257, which you can take in your second year without being a part of the business program. So you don't have to have any business prerequisites to take the course. You would just take it as an elective course, and you could do that as a business student. You could do that as an arts and humanities student, as a social science student. You could do any program whatsoever. Just as long as you take that one course in your second year, you're eligible to apply into the program.
Okay, so we know that OAC for the 2023-2024 period is going to open up soon in October. If I am going to look at King's and I choose one of your programs, but I also want to look at Ivy, do I have to state that up front, or can I do that later when I've decided better?
Yeah. So you can do it up front or you can do it later. If you haven't submitted we call it the AEO status, that check mark that you would do in the OUX Center. If you didn't check that off originally when applying to Ivy, it doesn't discount you in any way. You're still able to apply at the end of your second year. So it's really up to the student which one they would prefer to do. If they prefer to apply early and kind of get their foot in the door, or if they'd prefer to apply later. If you apply early and you change your mind and you choose not to go to Ivy, that's no problem.
Okay, well, that's good to know. I want to move over to some admission requirement questions. So I know you have the business programs, you focus on that quite a bit. I've recognized that universities across Canada, they want our students coming with CAPE to have higher level math. But suppose a student does not have higher level math. So that, for example, they didn't take CAPE pure math. Would you accept maybe CAPE applied? Or if they had additional math, would that be acceptable, or is there a way for them to make up for the requirement without having to take grade 12 supplements online?
Yeah, good question. So for our CAPE students, we do recommend that you take the math if you can, just because it'll be helpful for you within the business program, because it'll be like a similar format for you. But if you haven't taken the math, that's okay. You're still eligible to apply. We'll just give you that math in your first year. So instead of doing the 2 maths that you would normally be doing, we might add in a 3rd math for you. Or if you didn't have any math at all, we might add in like our version of grade 11 and grade 12 math to kind of get you up to speed before taking the university credits. But if you haven't taken the maths, I wouldn't worry too much. You're still able to apply and be accepted into the program. We would just give you the prerequisite math once you're here.
Okay, you mentioned IB and CAPE students, but do you accept students who would have gone to community college and started at least did a 2-year associate degree program, or in the British pattern style system, you can actually leave from our equivalent of grade 12, or maybe the college track in the Ontario system, so CXCs, and do 1 year of university. Can those students apply? They did 1 year of university, transfer to King's as well, or if they did community college and did a 2-year associate degree, could they also transfer to King's?
Yes. So for the 2-year associate degree, as long as it's a 2-year program, they're still eligible to apply and transfer over. For university programs, as long as they've completed the full year, they're not kind of leaving halfway through the term. I believe that, yes, we do also accept universities from 1 year. I don't want to for sure say that. So maybe send me an email and I'll follow up for that one.
I will send you a question, because they make up a good portion if you're traveling across the Caribbean. Yes, they're the high schoolers, but there's some that can leave our fifth form and they won't take sixth form, but they can matriculate into state college or community college. Same thing in St. Lucia, same thing in other English-speaking Caribbean countries.
Yes. I'm pretty sure they can do it from just 1 year, but send me an email and I'll double check with our admission officer and confirm that.
Okay. I have another question. Is it only undergrad programs available at King's, or are they postgraduate level programs available?
So we're primarily undergraduate. So the business program, the finance wealth management, and all the programs that we showed on the screen earlier are all undergraduate. We do have one master's program, which is the Master's of Social Work, but the rest of our programs would be undergraduate.
Is that Master's of Social Work open to international students?
Yes, it is. So you are able to apply into the Master's of Social Work. We have it's structured so that if students have completed a Bachelor's of Social Work, they're eligible to apply to a 1-year master's. And if they have completed a different program that isn't within the social work field, then they're eligible to apply to the 2 years master's. We are very popular for social work, so it is a very competitive program, but yes, you're still eligible to apply.
I asked that because that is a question we get a lot. And so there are some, if for example, their colleges, they won't have a master's program in social work. They might have something relatable at a post-grad certificate or diploma level. But there's some people who really want to do their master's and they want to do it in Canada. So my next follow-up question to that would be, is it taught-based, or is it more research-based, or is it a hybrid, a blend of both?
It's a blend of both. So our social work program, we have what's it called? We have a provincial standard in Ontario that all of our social work programs need to have 700 hours of practicum placement experience. So they'll actually be out in the field. But then the other portion of that is research and in-class learning that they would need to be doing that kind of stuff as well. So it's a good mixture of both.
I know you cover primarily undergrad, but it might serve you well if you bring some information down, especially in countries like Barbados and Jamaica.
Okay, good.
We get those questions a lot about a master's in social work. That is a growing field of interest, and not everyone can go into the programs locally or get into the programs locally. So it's good to have alternative options for our persons, especially given that Canada is a top destination, overseas destination for many Caribbean students. So I would definitely recommend that you bring some information about your master's program in social work, given its popularity in the Caribbean. And so I want to bring down to the money matter. So we talked about entrance scholarships. So my questions related to the scholarships would be, are they automatic consideration, or is there a separate application for students to apply?
So the grade-based scholarships that I showed earlier, like the IB ones that start at 25 or the international scholarships that start at 82, those ones students don't need to apply for. We'll automatically award them to students who are eligible for the scholarship, and you don't need to apply. We do have additional scholarships that they can apply for, like the President Regis International Student Scholarship and other ones that they can find online. We also have a BIPOC scholarship that students can apply to, or if students are new to Canada, we have a New to Canada scholarship that they're able to apply to as well. But all of those can be found on our website. And then another thing that students sometimes get confused about, because it's very misleading, is that within Ontario, at least, scholarships for universities are open now for students. So if you're planning to apply for the upcoming September, the scholarships are live on almost all of the university websites right now. So you're able to go on there, look through the scholarships and start applying as soon as you send in your application. Once you send in your application, we'll give you an acknowledgement letter saying we've received it. Here's your student number for our school while you're looking through scholarships and things like that, and you're eligible to apply. A lot of students think that they'll count themselves out and they shouldn't be applying to scholarships if they're not sure which school they want to go to. But in Ontario, at least you're able to apply to any of those scholarships before accepting your offer. And if you choose a different campus than one that you've applied for a scholarship for, that's no problem. We would just give the scholarship to whoever the runner-up is. So it's really great kind of way to figure out which school is the best fit for you, and fees are such a big part of choosing a university to know what scholarship amounts you're going to be getting from each school.
Okay, and I want to, this other follow-up question about Money Matters now. Your tuition rates are the same as Western, or there's a bit of a difference between the two?
There is a slight difference between the two. Let me pull it up right now, and I can let you know exactly what the tuition is. So for all of our programs, except for business is a little bit higher. So for the rest of our programs, it's sitting at $45,015.94. And then for our business program, which is a bit higher, it's sitting at $57,257.94.
Okay, so a bit of a difference between you and Western. So if you had to speak to a parent who's looking at, I know people say, well, I don't want my child going to a big school, but I want them going to a prestigious school at the same time. So it's like a push and pull. What key factors will make King ideal to comfort that parent or that student?
Yeah, I think that King's would be a really good fit for somebody who's looking for the prestigious degree, but a smaller campus. So our students will still get the prestigious degree of a Western University degree, but they also get the smaller campus. So I wish I put a map in this PowerPoint now that I'm thinking about it, but King's and Western are within the same university kind of square, but Western will have its big square here, and then you cross the street and King's is across the street, but we're more within like a little neighborhood. So it's like a very homey, like small town, small campus that you will have there, but just kind of separate from Western, even though it's just across the street. So you can still get to Western by walking there within 10 minutes. We also have shuttle buses that you can use for free, and they run every 5 minutes, they run every 10 minutes, but it takes 5 minutes to get to and from each campus. So you're still very close to the main campus. You have all the amenities and the services that you're able to access at both campuses. You graduate with the Western degree, but you're more in like a little like small campus bubble that has all the services that are kind of one-on-one care for you at a smaller campus with the smaller campus class size as well.
That is good to know, because people, some people are drawn to the name, but then it's not the right environment. It's all about finding your fit.
Yeah.
Folks, you will get a chance to learn more about King's in Barbados and St. Lucia and Jamaica. Are you going to Trinidad, Jessica?
I'm not going to Trinidad, but my colleague Alexis will be going to Trinidad, and she's going to 2 others. She's going to Trinidad, Bahamas, and then, well, Bermuda's not really within the Caribbean, but she's going to Bermuda as well.
There's an affiliation.
Yes.
There's an affiliation. Okay, so if you are in the English-speaking Caribbean, King's will have representation at Cup Fest in Barbados and St. Lucia. They will also be at the Edu-Canada Fair in Jamaica. And there will also be representation at the Edu-Canada Fair in Trinidad, as well as the Bahamas, and they will also be in Bermuda. So they're going to be going around to the various islands. You can learn more by going to the booth, asking good questions. I know I will be seeing Jessica soon in a matter of weeks. Now countdown is on. She will also be touring schools across Barbados. So definitely look out to see Jessica, who will be representing King's at Western. This was a good session. Thank you, Jessica, for answering all my questions. Thank you for showcasing and teaching me about King's. If you're interested in business particularly, I'm going to just put a plug for that Bachelor of Arts, Finance and Wealth Management program. I really think that that's a savvy program for someone who may want to get the best of both worlds, get a chance to experience a college education, but also still get their degree at the same time with a prestigious brand associated with it. That gives you a lot, and that's what they call good value for your investment. Jessica, I'm just going to sign off from Facebook. Thank you for those who joined us on Facebook. I'm going to be back on Wednesday. We're going to be going over to Alberta, where we're going to be meeting with Northern Alberta Institute of Technology. They're also going to be at CupFest coming up in October in Barbados and St. Lucia. Have a good evening, folks. Good night. Thank you.